Kids, don't do drugs. Everyone needs to say no to drugs. Sadly, though, a lot of us didn't say no and chose to dabble in dope, all for a dopamine dump, to end up addicted and dependent. But with guidance, grace, and faith in God, as well as yourself, you and I can overcome. Sweating like a stuck pig, 'cause symptoms setting in. Popping perks to cold turkey and no Suboxone strips. Wanna talk about a bitch? That's it all day. No pill, no work, sadly a common phrase. But there's hope, no joke, so don't give up. Addiction's a bitch, but the will to quit's a must. The road to recovery, a lifelong trip. But with guidance and grace, we can conquer it. I'm no hypocrite. That life I've lived, I'll use the rest of this song as a manuscript. You ever stayed up for like 7 days straight from a homemade meal? Bottled shake and bake, drip dried on a plate, acid to microwave, glass shard scraped up, another blast awake. Around day 13 is when shit gets real, motherfucking weird. Seeing folks in the field, 3 a.m. on the porch smoking a cigarette, spooked over nothing, 'cause apparently no one else sees them but you. Damn bro, how long since you last had sleep? Hallucinating whole humans, been awake for 2 weeks. Buzz is wearing off. I'm gonna get some sleep. Finally. No shit, being dope sick is a miserable.
All right, so for this explainer, we're doing something a little different. We're stepping away from the usual reports and data to look at something much more personal. This is a journey through a manuscript that gives a raw, completely unfiltered look into opiate addiction and what it's really like to go through withdrawal. Let's get into it.
You know, the manuscript starts with this warning we've all heard a million times, but it flips it almost immediately. It's not about being a bad person. It frames this whole nightmare as the result of just one choice, a choice to dabble in dope, all for that initial high, that dopamine dump.
And that one choice.
So this critique examines the lyrics for No Pill, No Work, which is a gritty rap track detailing the visceral realities and technical processes of drug addiction and manufacturing. And getting right to it, the highly specific drug manufacturing terminology really risks alienating listeners who lack that subcultural knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, reading these verses almost feels like decoding a hazardous materials manifesto scribbled on the back of a prescription pad.
Right, it really does. The verses rely heavily on like incredibly niche references, things like optical iso-M and ammonium nitrate.
Oh, yeah. And those specific 30-day purchase limits for cold medicine?
Exactly. And while that establishes a certain gritty reality, the sheer density of this jargon overshadows the track's true message about addiction's toll. It buries what the lyrics themselves brilliantly call how horrific the joy.
Wait, I actually have to challenge that a bit, because isn't granular detail a staple of great rap?
Well, sure.
Like, that hyperrealism proves the writer actually knows this world intimately, you know?
It proves they know the chemistry. Yeah. But at what cost to the pacing? I mean, when the listener is forced to do mental math just to decode the recipe, they completely lose sight of the human suffering driving the whole process.
Oh, I see what you mean. So the suggestion here is to balance that technical jargon with immediate emotional grounding, keeping the human cost front and center for a broader audience.
Right. Just think about how that actually plays out in the ear. Like if you drop a bar about ingredients like Coleman's camp fuel and 100% lye, you need to follow it instantly with the physical reality.
Make them feel it.
Exactly. Pair that chemical with the physical decay, the track marks, or the profound isolation it causes.
Right. Make them feel the anxiety of the hustle, not just the arithmetic.
Yeah,
So instead of purely stating the math of the 3.5 boxes limit, focus the surrounding lines on the paranoia, or the
yeah,
sweating, or the sheer desperation of standing in those Walgreens lines.
definitely. And, you know, because those verses are so densely packed with this rapid fire technical imagery, the chorus has to step in and act as an emotional release valve.
Right, but the repetitive structure of the hook dilutes the gravity of the overarching narrative by becoming a rushed chant, rather than a stark thematic anchor.
It really does.
Because right now, the refrain cycles rapidly through all these variations. It goes, the choice to get high, the choice to do, the choice to waste life, and a choice to become a joke.
It's just, it's too much at once. That dense, rapid repetition disrupts the grim storytelling momentum of the verses.
Right.
And it really blurs the emotional impact of the consequences.
But wait, isn't the whole point of a rap hook to be catchy and rhythmic?
Well, generally, yeah.
Like the rapid fire repetition of the word choice feels like it's intentionally hammering home personal responsibility.
I mean, it aims to do that. But because the ear stops processing the meaning of the words at that speed, the listener just hears a frantic rhythm.
Oh, wow, that makes sense.
Yeah, the psychological weight of those decisions gets entirely lost in the chant. So we need to refine and condense the hook to build tension, giving the listener breathing room to digest these incredibly heavy themes.
Okay, so reduce the lyrical variations entirely.
Exactly.
If you wipe out the chant and just deliver a solitary, punchy line like no pill, no work, a choice to waste life, and if you use a slower, more deliberate cadence, the contrast against the fast-paced verses becomes chilling.
Yeah, that silence does way more work than the chanting ever could.
Oh, totally.
It actually lets that horrific joy echo in the empty space.
So let's pull this together. Today's critique highlighted the need to ground technical chemistry jargon in emotional stakes and to condense the repetitive hook to maximize its impact.
Right. And to put that into practice, pair those manufacturing terms with personal consequences in the verses.
Yeah,
Then streamline the chorus down to a single hard-hitting line to provide that emotional anchor.
perfect.
We would absolutely love to hear this track evolve. So please revise these lyrics and submit the material back in for another round of feedback.
Yeah, camera on. But not many been around since. Come on, Chadwick. Sorry to break the news, Bubba. Been a subscriber since day motherfucking one. Yeah, check it. MoKoN in effect. Motherfucking MoKoN. Uh-huh. Motherfucking MoKoN. MoKoN. You a cameraman, acting like a goat now. Gray-headed prop with a rented out crown. Built your name off another man's sound. Plus record, that's the only thing you found. Not every day, bro, some of us live it. You documented life, I survived and spit it. Album stacked, but the truth still shows. Same old songs and designer clothes. Yeah, check it. MoKoN. You ain't rise from the mud, you film the mud climb. Front row witness trying to claim crunch time. 10-minute freestyle, yeah, you held the lens. But holding cameras don't make legends, my friend. Channel blew up off another man's pen. Street poet grinding while you captured the frame. When worm walk free, views ran high. When bars went silent, so did your Wi-Fi. Dormant seasons, coincidence story. Every comeback tied to somebody else's glory. Part 1, 2, 3, 4 confessionals deep. Admitted the blueprint wasn't yours to keep. Chubby Chatty Bobby! MoKoN! You a cameraman, acting like a goat now. Ray hit a prop with a rented out crown. Built your name off another man's sound. Press record, it's the only thing you found. Not every day, bro, some of us live it. You documented life, I survived and spit it. Album stacked, but the truth still shows. Same old songs and designer clothes. Check it. Gray-headed goat, nah, gray area fame. Recycling tracks like you scared of the game. 5 new songs, 20 features attached. Credits spread thin, so the stats look stacked. Drop after drop like quantity wins. But classics ain't counted by how fast you spin. 15 years back, barely 5 tracks made. Now suddenly veteran status gets claimed. Ad-lib, chubby chatty Bobby! Taking load and had cleaner delivery. Back then your bars needed basic literacy. Cheesy gimmicks, goofy brand pose. Craft bars melt when the real heat flows. Yeah, receipts. MoKoN! Rest in peace to the ones who really wrote pain. Some voices earn respect, not algorithm gain. Difference between legacy and leverage. One builds culture, one just